I just wanted to share a specific tip or a trick I've been using the last couple of weeks, and I think it's been quite effective because I've just noticed a bit more focus in myself. And I'm not gonna lie, sometimes, or most of the time, I am someone that does get easily distracted, and as a result, I don't even realize that I'm getting distracted when I'm supposed to do something. And because of that, I don't actually manage to do that thing or that task to maybe 100% of what I can do. And it does affect the results, of course, because if you're not fully in the zone or if you're not fully focused and committed to that specific task, then how can you give it your 100% effort? And without giving it 100% effort, you're not going to get the best possible outcome or output for the time spent. So actually, I've been reading this book, and one really cool insight and one trick that I've just kind of came across in the book. It's kind of obvious, but it was just when I actually put it into practice, I noticed a lot more just productivity and just staying within the flow state. And what it is basically to do with knowing and understanding one of the key distractions that you might face. Now, personally, for me, one of them is just simply the use of a mobile phone. We have so many kind of things going on, notifications. Your mobile phone is a great piece of hardware, a great device, but at the same time, it can really be detrimental to you with all the apps, with all the social media and text messages communicating with people. Your phone can just go off so many times a day or random intervals a day. So it's just to be really aware of your phone and kind of how you basically switch your attention to your phone. And I'll give you an example. So when I'm just working and I'm in my zone, I'm in my flow state, and all of a sudden I just put my phone on the side of my desk, and you just see the notification pop up or you hear like a buzz. And as I'm doing work, literally, I would just look and maybe pick it up. But even if I don't pick it up, I'd still look. And that fraction of a second has influenced my mind, saying that there is something that I'm unaware of, but I'm now curious that I want to see it. And even if I was to push it in the back of my mind, I'm still working. There's always that curiosity and that factor where I just need to check what it is. And that small amount of energy is affecting that productivity. Now, obviously, that's a minute example, but the more times you do it, the more buzzes, the more notifications you see, the more distractions that you accumulate, meaning that more of that curiosity, more of that kind of urge to check your phone is just there. And I noticed this a lot. So even turning off my phone or just making sure not to use it has helped. And I think the biggest example that I can give you that I have direct experience from is just me working out. Now, when I'm in the gym, I love to just check my phone during in between sets when I'm resting. In between sets, I rest for about a minute and a half, and then between exercises, it might be a bit longer. But what do I do to kind of fill that void, fill that time? Just check my phone, check notifications, who's messaged me, message people back. But you know what? What I realized is that when I do that, I actually feel like it's harder for me to get back into the next set, or I'm not as productive because I just turn my phone off when in the gym, or I just put it on like focus mode, and I just literally take the time to rest. I would stretch, I might just walk around a little bit, might drink some water, but I just wouldn't check my phone. And you know what? I definitely feel like when I go into that next set, I feel ready and I feel like I can give it my 100%. And I also noticed that my whole entire workout actually kind of shortened in terms of time spent. On my app, it shows me how long I spend on a typical workout. Usually it's about 70 minutes. But because I've just kind of cut down on not checking my phone and just being in the zone and literally starting promptly after my rest period has finished, I realized that that cut down has now become 55 minutes or maybe 60 minutes. And it's more than just the kind of time spent for me. I think it's mainly just being able to really put your mind to that one task and just do it. If you do work out, you'd understand that there's a concept called mind muscle connection, where basically the more you put emphasis through your mind to the kind of contraction of your muscle, the better it kind of tears down and rebuilds when you're working out. And I feel like I didn't have any of that mind muscle connection, and I'm only starting to kind of regain it and just understand how it works just because I'm not being distracted by so many different things. So I think part of being in the zone is just to understand what your distractions are around you and to try and minimize them as much as possible. Now, I've given the example of using a mobile phone, but it could be anything. You just have to figure out what your distraction is.